Hey, it's Alicia Buchanan, aka Soulful Sister Searching, coming back at you again with another movie review. This was a good one as well. I feel like I've been on a streak of catching all the good movies. Well, okay, so this was Welcome to Marwen. I really was touched by this movie. Now, I tried to take my entire family with me to see it, my husband and my two young sons, because I thought it was an inspirational movie. Not sure if they really got the movie like I did, but coming from, a mental health world, professionally and personally, I understood the movie. Even if you don't have that background, you can understand the movie and be inspired by it, by the story, because I think everybody has experienced something in their life that has really kept you, just stuck. In this particular case, this guy, he was really stuck. I mean, I don't even know another word to say it, but it was like he was living his life as if, wow, that's all I could say. So it was one of those cases where he was assaulted. The guy was assaulted. And his alter ego character, because he creates these characters, was Huey. So he had lost his memories from being assaulted almost nearly to death for being different. So it's one of those cases where it was actually a hate crime. And so just to warn you again, as with all my videos, spoiler alert, I'm going to talk about all the details that I can in this video. So the guy, he wasn't homosexual or transgender or, any of those type of particular populations. He was a man who liked to wear high heel shoes. And he said that he felt that it connected him with the dame or with a woman. He felt like it made him feel closer to a woman. Even since he was a young kid, he liked to dress up and get into high heel shoes. Later on, it's revealed in some of his photo albums a picture of him when he was a baby in some high heel shoes. And since then, he has collected high heel shoes, stilettos, all kind of colors and shoes, and he really likes them. So he gets drunk. He's going into the small town that he lives in, and he gets drunk. And these five guys, they start asking him some questions. And so whatever he reveals in his drunkenness, he shares that he likes to wear high heel shoes sometimes. And instead of just being silent, he opens up about that, and they discriminate against him, and they start attacking him. They start literally beating him and stomping him. And the last thing that he remembers in the attack is one of the guys stomps him in his face. So, he has scars on his face that he will, never be able to get rid of unless cosmetic surgery or something. So, but anyway, he experiences that, and he loses all of his memories. And what he has gained is he has gained a lifetime of nightmares and anxiety and post-traumatic stress disorder. So he's suffering from PTSD as if he was in the war. And what is fascinating about this movie is not only it being a true life story, but the world that he has created to heal himself, to help him to just be able to deal with everyday type of circumstances. He uses dolls, dollies, animated figures, whatever you want to call them. So he has created a world where everyone in his world who has been a part of his life, which are women, these women who he feels have healed him or who are his protectors, these women who are his nurturers and protectors, they are the main characters along with himself. And now, for some particular reason, it's never revealed in the movie, but for some particular reason, he has this recollection of this memory of the World War II. I hope I'm getting this right. World War II, where they were in Germany and there were Nazis. So the Nazis represent these 5 guys that attacked him. And it's also revealed that they have Nazi tattoos on their arms that they use to intimidate. They are probably a part of a white supremacist group. So those Nazi figurines throughout his particular world, they're always after him. And that represents his memories that he is trying to forget about what happened to him. And so in his world, there are these 5 women. He's created this real world life doll houses where each one of them, they have their particular role. There's one who's in the church house. There's one who, is in the bar. And actually, there was a bar attender she's the one who found him. Her name was Wendy. She found him and she saved him after he was attacked. She nurtured him. She, befriended him, and he worked there as well. Okay, so I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself. So anyway, he has created this world, and that is how he manages. And he has a caregiver who comes over, and she manages his medication, his anxiety medications. And he's created a figure around the medication as well. This blue witch, who he calls Vandun something. I can't remember the exact name, but she has blue hair, and she represents the blue pills that he takes for anxiety. And so every time someone gets close to him, a woman especially, or something is good happening for him, it's kind of destroyed. And the blue witch, he calls her the witch of the village, or the witch of Germany. She is the one that always comes. She doesn't want him to get close to anyone. But what ends up happening is, in the end, he gets rid of her. He gets rid of the pills. And he starts to confront what it is that's giving him anxiety and his fear. Because he's been avoiding going to court to participate in the proceedings to punish these guys who attacked him. But he gets the courage. Now, there's another character that is emerged in the movie, is his neighbor, his new neighbor named Nicole, without an E. Nicole without an E moves across the street, and Nicole is being harassed by this guy that she dates for like 2 seconds. He's a cop, but he's also a stalker, and she doesn't want him around anymore. But as Nicole and Hoagie is getting close, he also manifests her in his world, in his art world with the dollies. He manifests her in that world as well. And she and Hoagie, they are getting close. And she is able to withstand everything. She doesn't get killed, because normally women get killed in this world that he's created. But she doesn't get killed. She gets shot at, but he's given her a purple heart. She wears that. It protects her from getting shot. And so she survives. And another thing in here is the theme around the romance. And since he has experienced this traumatic brain injury that he has dealt with from the assault, is he misinterprets people's affection for him. So when someone shows him affection, thank you. So when a woman shows him affection in particular, he is not able to understand if it's real affection, like I like you, or if it's just affection, that I feel for you, I have a friendship for you, I have a humanity for you because of what you have experienced, and I'm showing you compassion and kindness. So he comes on to Nicole very early, and he asks her to marry him, which is very soon. There's also a character named Roberta. I believe her name is Roberta. And Roberta owns a horror store. She either owns it or she works in the horror store. So every time there's a dolly or there's a figurine or something to deal with his world, and also to develop the films that he takes, because he takes pictures. He used to be an artist, but he can't draw anymore, so he takes pictures, and that's how this dolly world has came up. I always want to be a part of the video. You want your 2 minutes of fame too. So anyway, I'm gonna wrap this up. So Roberta actually likes him. She has invited him several times to go out with him. They end up getting together in the very end of the movie because he finally finds the courage to ask her out as well. But before that, he has asked Nicole because he is fixated. You know, he's obsessed with Nicole because Nicole has shown his this compassion. She lives right across the street. He feels like, you know, it must be magic. And all the while throughout his experiences, when he's creating these characters and everything he's went through, Roberta has been a part of the experience. So Nicole rejects him. She ends up rejecting him, but telling him, I don't want to hurt you, but I'm just not where you are right now. So he ends up sharing a picture with her and having a heart around it saying thank you. He has this art gallery showing that he's also been avoiding, the court date and the art show, because everybody knows about him, what he does, what he's experienced, and his, you know, his photography and his art. So there's a show that has put on. He finally gets the courage to go to that as well. And so she shows up and she's just there to support him, but she ends up leaving. But Roberta is there, and he's telling Roberta, as he always does, about everything that has happened. Excuse me. Everything that's happened. And he tells her, he says, some people get their happy ending. Some people like Nicole and Hoagie, you know, they get their happy ending. He says, but maybe other people don't. And he gets the courage to ask her. And one other thing, I'm glad that I saved it for the last. So if you're watching this to the very end, then you will also know that throughout the movie, he wheels around this military vehicle that has all of the women of Warren in it, along with himself as the character, Hoagie. He takes it, and that's his protector. That's how he's able to deal with his anxiety. So art, art is one of those underappreciated things. It's not really appreciated in schools anymore, and it's a dying profession. They say the word starving artist. So there are a lot of starving artists out there. So many of us, I consider myself one of them as well, who create art and create things. And, it's not valued as much as some of the other type of professions. But this movie touched my heart in seeing how he was able to overcome what he experienced, and he was able to move on. At the end of the movie, they actually show a picture of him and give a little snippet about him. And I'm like, kudos to him for creating something for himself and being able to deal with this and not being held hostage for the rest of his life, or having to be hospitalized or put away or outcast because, of what he experienced, the severe assault that he experienced. So that was my take on the movie. I really enjoyed this movie. There was some humorous parts to it as well, but it's one of those movies where it has a slow build. So if you don't have the kind of patience to sit and actually watch and try to understand and pick up on things, then maybe this movie isn't for you. It's not one of those big action-packed movies. It does have some action in it, but it's one of those movies where if you want to be inspired, if you want to be moved, then it's a good movie for you to see, either alone or if you are, if you're in that place in a relationship a little bit further on. It's not one of those first date type of movies, but your significant other or longer term relationship type of people may be able to sit through this movie with you. But I know for me, and most men out there like those big action-packed movies, then maybe you may want to watch this one by yourself. But it was a good one. So hope that you are able to go and check this one out as well. Like, share, and subscribe, and I'll be coming back to you with more movie reviews and more videos in general. So take care.